Yes, indeed. Thank you so much to the desk. We've got Na'Vi and G2 here at a best of one on Overpass, and I don't know. I think this is going to be a fun game. I really look forward to it.
Can you give us predictions since you didn't make yours publicly? You taking G2? You taking Na'Vi?
I am going to go for Na'Vi on this one.
Is Simple going with an unsilenced USP?
Ooh.
Is that what I saw?
I think you might be right. That's frowned upon, isn't it?
I guess in a way. You don't see it too often.
No, you don't.
I like it.
Yeah, you do?
It's a weird noise. It's going to be unexpected. I think it's going to get into the brains. I can't even sell that. Electronic and Simple
Nice
close up towards bathrooms. There's a lot of pressure about to be put on them right now. Simple holding the line.
Yeah, he is actually sneaking in behind them. Probably did need that silencer. Now he's going to be running up here, trying to take a couple of shots off and not hitting anything. Kenny will take him down instead. Seuss gets one and Boomich with the other one to drop Kenny. So at least they've got a little bit working for them. But it is still going to be a tricky round, this one. 2 versus 3. And make that a 1 versus 3 as Flamey's going to be all on his own. Could still save it with some nice headshots. But now that the bomb is going down, and as soon as it does, think about how much time he has to spend clearing everything.
Oh, and there's so much contact. There's like 4 different crossfires. That's a nice kill from Flamey. He somehow gets out of it. They don't pounce strong enough, and Flamey has a chance in a 1 versus 3. Needs to find Shux. He's got it, but there's Amanek.
Wow.
The crossfire does eventually come in, but it looked like Flamey made a chance of it.
Yeah, that was too scary. That was too much for me. Don't need for it to be that close. But very good shots coming out. That whole flank coming in from Simple. I mean, 1 kill there now at the end of the round. You think that could have made a pretty big difference?
It's like it worked in my head the way that I always feel. Have you ever tried to use the USP without the silencer on it? It feels like your bullets just go like a little bit sideways, like they're not as accurate. Like the silencer, actually, like I don't think it's actually true in the game itself, but it feels that way.
Yeah.
Mentally.
That's why I don't do it. Something wrong with it, you know? It is probably just all psychological, but it feels weird.
Well, we are live. You can see the minimap is bugged, so just ignore that for the moment. There we are. Now we're back.
You fixed it? Oh, it's fine.
It wasn't bugged. It was probably just the fly-through PC. Take it all back.
Oh yeah, one of them has an issue. It's fine. We'll manage. We'll figure it out either way. We've got 3 MAC-10s, a Galil, and an AK-47 here.
Full investment as well from the defensive side. UMP and pistols, upgraded pistols with armor. 2 smokes and 3 flashbangs to use for the rest of the round for Na'Vi. So how long can they hold their nerve before they have to use those? G2 is still so far away from the bomb sites, and look at the aggression. Boomich is going to get pop flash through. He's blind. He still goes for it, and Shux doesn't spot it. So this is information that G2 does not have. Yeah. Small advantage in terms of info over to Na'Vi.
Well, I mean, I was going to say the weapons still favor G2, but if they all stack up at the A bomb side, which they kind of are right now, that is huge. That's going to make a big difference for Na'Vi, or it should at least. Flashbang, they're getting really close. There's Amanek, and he's going to be going down. There's a flash follow-up, so they could even do more. 30 seconds left, and this is a big problem right now for the G2 side. Jax gets 1 opening, but tries to push in. Flamey gonna get a double kill there with the UMP. He's the only one without any head armor, but he's doing a fine job anyway, almost getting the 3rd, and now Lucky's gonna go down. Simple with a double to end the round. That was such a success.
Boomich gets 0 kills, but his positioning and the intel he gathered towards the B bomb site in that push-out monster towards the dirty water as well.
Yeah.
That's the game. That's the round-winning play right there.
One of those things that will never show up on any scoreboards, right?
Yeah. But that is a beautiful design from Na'Vi. As you mentioned, just so many pistols here. There's not even really smokes, no like Molotovs or nades or flashbangs in their face at all. So G2 let the second round slip away after winning the pistol. Now you've got Simple on an M4. Gonna get aggressive again just to throw a deep nade behind the flames.
Yeah, follow up. Doesn't really do that much, but it's fine. They're not really gonna commit to it, just falling back instead for the 3rd round here. They have bought into this one. You see if they can get close enough to actually use these pistols.
Simple just spotted everything. He's gonna be the man. He's gonna have most of the pressure on him.
And smoke, I don't think they're gonna respect it. Flashbang there as Simple does pick up 1, and that does slow everything down. No bomb plant or anything, and no kills. So that is a huge round out of Na'Vi. A very, very good start for them here, turning the game in their favor after losing the pistol. 4th round, not much to work with for G2 either.
I like the idea. Now we're watching two teams: FaZe that had this boot camp that you know, attempting to reinvent themselves after you know, some lackluster performances. Now you have Na'Vi as well, who have had possibly, it feels like they probably have had the lightest schedule in terms of their tournament commitments this year, even more so than Astralis did earlier.
True, yes.
They've been like, it feels like they just haven't been anywhere. So I like the idea that they've just taken so much time off to get Boomich integrated in and kind of reinvent some things themselves. And now we get to see what all this work was for.
Yeah, that would be very cool. I think that's actually something that's been missing in the Counter-Strike circuit in general, is for teams to be able to do that. I mean, obviously, with the amount of stuff that's going on, that's usually one of the reasons why people don't, but that would make it fun. I mean, a lot of fun, right? Because you really don't want to be seeing the same matchup every single day, and it's cool if you could get like a timeout for a team like Na'Vi and have them back stronger.
Well, I think actually Na'Vi did it right, to be honest with you, because especially when you bring a new player in, like that's when you feel like you need that time off the most. Start feeling comfortable when you get back into the swing of the tournament circuit. Flamey looking for anything. There is Shox boosted up. He might have an advantage of 1 or 2 shots before Flamey can respond over that smoke, but it clears now, and he's just overly exposed. Meanwhile, the electronic flank is passing all the information. Flamey's the only one here, but he's going to have reinforcements coming out of the door, and he might not even need them. Amanek with a single kill. Flamey's got a double so far, and Lucky is the only one that remains inside of the smoke. A third for Flamey, and a third round for Na'Vi.
Yeah, things looking very good. Still very much early on, but we'll see how it goes once G2 start to pick up the rifles. They are now.
Well, they've only, I mean, the nice thing for Na'Vi is that they've only lost 2 players in those 2 kind of, not really eco rounds, but in the last 2 rounds, they've only lost a couple players. So you have money built up on that Na'Vi defense already, which kind of sucks if you're G2, because now it gets real grindy. You know, they got the upgrade of some of those weapons after winning the 2nd round, and now all of a sudden you're looking at players, you know, 6,000 is the least that anyone on Na'Vi has. So already at round 5, G2 is going to have to grind 2 or 3 wins if they want to take the economic advantage.
How are you enjoying the Na'Vi jerseys? I do like the G2 jerseys. Don't look at them, but I think they've been cool for a while.
Yeah, they have been. The new like V that Na'Vi has. Yeah,
and I noticed as well, because they already obviously sort of black and yellow is kind of their theme, I guess. Shout out to Wiz Khalifa, but also but now they got the red in there as well. So now they've got sort of the German, you know, color thing going on, and we're in Berlin, so I feel like they've timed it well. I don't know if you noticed that, but.
No, I didn't really put it together in my head.
Well,
I noticed the stripe. I didn't notice the German connection.
No, but I'm guessing it's not designed for that reason, but still. So maybe.
Well, it could be if it's just for the major. I think we touched on this at the last major a little bit, or maybe at an event since. I think it'd be so cool if teams just made like major specific jerseys. Just did like a limited run of some badass jersey you make just for the one major.
That's a good idea. I
think it'd be sweet.
Yeah, I mean, then fans could go pick them up. That would also prove as a fan that you were at that major and stuff like that. Yeah, that's a good idea. I think we should get to that right now.
What is the thing now? Like most of the teams, like Astralis started with the stars every time they win a major. I know Liquid has that now as well.
Yeah. That's a commitment and a half as well. If you stop winning, then it becomes kind of the opposite. You're like, oh, we've been stuck on
2 stars for 5 years.
Yeah. Then you just make up some other reason for getting stars, like, you know.
Yeah.
It's like, but you know, we did attend some events, and everything's cool now. Technical pause, as you can tell. Yeah, I think that's a good idea. I like that idea. So what have we got? We've got
Legos.
Lego Counter-Strike crossover.
Yep.
We've got
major specific jerseys.
Yeah, that's it. That's a good idea.
I feel like we have one more good idea that we had today. That's our quota, really, is 3.
3 is the maximum.
Good ideas for one day.
But we can't remember the third one, is that what you're saying? Or we just haven't made it up yet?
That's how good it is.
All right. It's already been swept away. Well, I hope you guys are taking notes out there. Try and patent some of the stuff. It's going to be hard to patent the Lego stuff since presumably they already own the rights for that, but...
Well, you never know. Only one way to find out.
Yeah. Just go for it. See if you get sued. Well, let's see. No headsets have come off yet, so that is broadly speaking.
Flamey's is half off.
Oh,
because he's got a converse, so he's got like the one headphone on, one headphone off thing.
All right.
Which isn't wearing sign just yet. It has to be fully off for it to really become panic mode.
Yeah, that's when you know something bad is happening.
Oh, Zeus has his off.
Yeah,
he's helping out. It's fun.
They're trying to solve the issue.
Flamey is swiping his mouse a lot for being what I would assume on like the default Windows desktop.
Maybe that the mouse is the problem. He's trying to figure it out.
Okay.
You don't have a pet, but if you do, then like getting dog hair, cat hair, or something into like the mouse sensor is about the worst thing that could ever happen.
Well, I had pets growing up back when ball mice were all the rage.
Well, I thought you had goldfish, so they don't like.
Well, I had a goldfish. That was one of the many pets.
Oh, okay.
It was a cat family mostly growing up.
Okay.
3 cats. We had a lizard as well at one point.
Always good with the goldfish, cats.
Yeah. Well, that's the most fun.
Yeah, they're just entertained by it. Is that what you're saying? Just watching the little.
It actually didn't
bowl.
happen as much as you'd think it would.
Oh, okay.
I don't think we had predatory cats in any way.
All right. Just more relaxed ones. That's fine.
They're laid back.
Well, hopefully that isn't the issue. I don't know if you're allowed to bring pets to the major. Are you?
I don't. Well, I don't know. Like not as really as a viewer, you can't just bring pets in.
No, that would be weird.
Why would you want to bring a pet to a major?
I would love to bring my pug to the major. She would love it. She loves all people.
Have you yet gotten your pug certified as like a therapy dog, so you can bring it onto the airplanes?
No, but I should. I mean, I should do that. I don't know if she would enjoy it. I feel like there's a chance she wouldn't. I think what would be rough is that she would want to talk to everybody in the airplane, and that might get it might be confusing. And when people didn't talk to her, she tends to interpret that as she's done something wrong, And
then she gets sad.
Yeah. So. Yeah,
why
it's the whole thing.
Why have you raised such like a sad pet?
No, everybody talks. It's fine, I'm just saying.
You strike me as the kind of guy who, if you were gonna if you got your dog as like a therapy dog,
yes,
you strike me as the kind of guy who would also invest in like, a man purse or a satchel in some way, and then you would put your pug in the satchel.
We talked about that because we have like a harness for the baby, right?
You could put the pug in that.
We thought about that actually.
I think that'd be weird.
Yeah.
Because then you start like peopleizing your baby, if that makes sense.
But the thing is, it's true. But once you have pugs, you've already committed to that idea. The only reason you already get a pug to begin with, just because you sort of like can't tell the difference anymore between like I think it's like a whole thing. If you get like a German Shepherd, right, you're getting an actual useful dog in some sense to be able to do something. Whereas if you're getting a pug, it's just because you don't want to commit to having a baby yet. So you're just like, we'll get the pug and then we'll see what happens. But you're
committed to the pug life. You've had what, like 3 pugs now?
Yeah. Yeah, it's true.
So what happened? You have 2 kids and you've had 3 pugs.
Yeah, but they grow on you. It's hard to explain.
I gotcha.
They are stupid, but
that's part of the charm.
But they're really lovable. It's hard to explain.
No, I believe it.
But yeah, I don't know.
I'd like to get a dog by the end of the year. It's going to be a functional animal, though. It's not going to be it's not going to be a pug.
Our first pug, she wasn't a big fan of actually doing, like, she wanted to go out for walks, but only for the first 5 minutes, and then for the rest of the time, she sort of preferred if you would,
That's short legs,
carry her
It's
around.
got to be exhausting.
Yeah, that's probably the reason why. So, she would enjoy that if you'd pick her up and carry her the rest of the way. She'd be like, "This is fine."
Yeah, that's what she's into. Is the illusion of doing the work.
Exactly.
Well, we're back into the game. Na'Vi with a 3-1 lead and an investment from G2. 4 AKs, the Krieg as well. Mac 10 on Electronic. And he's going to get aggressive again. He did this in the previous round. Maybe out of the timeout they're not expecting it, but his eyes get burned out of his head by that flashbang, and Jax, it's an easy kill for him. You don't lose a whole lot. Obviously, it's just the Mac 10. You still have a chance to recover, especially Simple with the AWP with so many different fights available to him with all these angles and bathrooms. Yeah, someone that I always look forward to watching, obviously, Simple with that AWP. We've seen some games in the past where it's been, not up to par, but at the same time... Not many of those.
Not many of those. Usually hits a very, very high level. Jax, I guess he's been on this team for a while now, but before he joined the team, I did not know about his name at all. I feel like it's been really pleasant to see him in the French scene. He's doing a great job, I think. 3-1 with the opening kill. See what G2 could do.
Boomic has been pretty aggressive over towards Monster, peeking through it. We saw him push through in the second round. That's the information that was gathered, but he's the only one at B now, so you can kind of understand he's got to be a little bit aggressive so he can call out information before a hit comes in. So instead of trying to recover at the B bomb site, they can actually get the defense in place ahead of time. They've just rotated Flamey back. And how aggressive does Boomic remain with these peaks to try and find what's coming?
There's about 3 smokes. One of them just went down. They have to get rid of Simple with one of these smokes. One of them has to make his life difficult. Otherwise, that will really be a problem. 15 seconds now. They got to be careful about the bomb. Oh, that's the bomb down. How do they plant this bomb now? 10 seconds. If he gets one more kill, then this might just be the round done. He's thinking about it. 7 seconds, and now there's no chance. Lucky in a 1 versus 3. And that defense held up so well. No smoke to block off Simple, and the bomb going down at about 15 seconds, and that's a steal for Na'Vi.
Right, it's not even the bomb going down at that point. It's the fact that Simple sees it with that kill. And then he knows all he has to do with the time running down is hold the line. You don't have to be aggressive. You just have to deny the bomb access to the site. And it helps as well that all of his teammates rotating over and getting into the actual bomb site at the truck won all their fights as well. You nailed that perfectly. No smoke in front of Simple of all the places. That was the one they did not cover up with the smoke. And it's pretty disastrous results. Timeout coming in from G2, this time a tactical to talk things over.
I was wondering even if they smoked him off at the bank, would he then just push up anyway? Would he just say, that's fine?
I think he would with the time on the clock.
Yeah.
Like push through, take the fights, even if you die. Make it like costly in terms of time spent on finding that kill. Regardless, it never got into that scenario. 4-1 lead for Na'Vi.
Little unicorn spray on the ground there. You like that?
Yeah, it's all right. They're not my favorite mythical creature, but they're pretty cool.
They're all right. What is your favorite?
I'm a big fan of the Griffin. I think Griffin is a cool animal.
You played Heroes of Might and Magic?
I did, actually.
I knew.
Yeah.
I just knew. They need to remake a very good version of that game. Like for mobile or something. Why isn't that a thing?
Yeah, that's a good point. You're just giving out free ideas today. There's 3.
There's the 3rd one. I would actually for a game you could play on an airplane, like a tablet, Heroes of Might and Magic. My God, that would be great. Boomich, dealing out a little bit of damage and relatively risk-free. Shooting Kenny, I believe, in the kneecaps. Never a fun time.
No, you need your kneecaps, Anders.
Yeah.
As you well know.
Mine have been... yeah, weird. It's fine.
Well, Flamey, things are going to get weird for him as they try and wrap around the bomb site, but so much backup. Zeus is there for a triple, or quad kill, excuse me. It's 4. Flamey with the final on Amanek. And Na'Vi have had no issues with those rounds against the G2 Pistols. They have kept a lot of players alive, and I think like the 3 rounds they've had against that sort of a bye.
This is another thing, isn't it, that we could talk about for Na'Vi, because obviously Simple is a big topic. Now, Boomich is here, and after they've taken a bit of a timeout to integrate him into the team, that's another one. I feel like a 3rd one probably would have to be... because before the whole break here, people were starting to say, when is Zeus going to retire from this? Like, is he going to be a functional member of this team or not? If that changes after, and if he's going to have... he doesn't have to be the star player by any means, but just, you know, he can't be letting the team down. If that changes, that would be really interesting, wouldn't it? Like, that would actually change the flavor of the team so much. And there's no real reason why he couldn't, but it just felt like that wasn't going to happen. So I'm curious about that. Is it like a 3rd point for Na'Vi?
Maybe this break went really well for them. Maybe he worked on some stuff individually. That would be a really cool Na'Vi, because I think that would be... I mean, if you start having a Na'Vi that dangerous with Zeus having a good amount of impact as well, that's a team that could win the major. Electronic has spotted the barrel of Lucky, and he's tired of waiting.
He was, wasn't he? I don't have all day, you know?
F this, time to push.
Davai.
Well, utility as well for G2 is not looking great. 1 smoke, 2 flashbangs, and Kenny with this AWP hasn't really been involved. He's still way, way back towards T-spawn as he rotates over towards the B-bomb site with the bomb as well. So I imagine this would be a fake from Amanek and Jax, hoping they can get something done, and then allowing the opportunity for Shox and Kenny to attack a weakened B-bomb site as the rotations go away. But you are going at Simple.
Yeah, what a fake it's going to have to be. Might actually be really good timing. Zeus is just pushing out Simple up on the container, and he absolutely overpeaks that. Had no idea. Zeus could have maybe had the headshot there, but he misses the chance, and now...
they know the bomb.
Yeah, they do, and there's only 18 seconds. If they just wait, if Boomich waits in this corner and drops the bomb, even now, he can still win the round. If Shox doesn't peek the corner, that's going to be absolutely awful, and Boomich coming out with a fight now. 8 seconds left, and he's going to make a run for it. That's the round 1. They can't possibly do this. Oh my God, he was just up against the wall. He was sliding into that corner, and that won the round.
As soon as the fake has any kind of an impact, as soon as they get those kills towards the A bomb site, they shot and killed Kenny, and then they saw the bomb, and then they didn't even need to rotate everyone over. They just need to have some kind of a wide defensive perimeter to make sure the flank couldn't be super impactful. But Boomich just hiding in the corner. You're exactly right. That's perfect, and that's a tough one to swallow for G2.
Flamey just misspotted Negev.
Use it.
I mean, I hope he does.
You should be required.
You should, absolutely.
If I'm a teammate as well, I'm like, you just misbought and spent that much money, you better use that weapon. You better get 2 kills with it.
Morally obligated to use the Negev.
Oh, he's not going to do it. He's going to respend. And honestly, we touched on it a number of times. The economy for Na'Vi is so strong that misbuy doesn't even really have an impact because he's still, after rebuying an M4 as well, he's still got 6K.
Yeah.
And I don't think you have to go back to winning the second round if you're Na'Vi. The economic boon that provided them, you can't understate how much of an impact that's had because they've never even been close to having to think about their money. They've never had to worry about their economic situation since that round.
We've got Agent lucky at this point. 007.
Not so lucky.
I think we talked about this before, but it's hard. I don't know if a French James Bond would have ever worked. It's hard to imagine, isn't it?
Definitely not.
Boomich.
Could probably do it like a Scandinavian James Bond, though. That'd be cool.
Yeah, maybe, I think the Swedes do really good crime movies. They could probably do like a really dark James Bond, like a really horrifically dark one.
Boomich forced back, and there's really nowhere he can go. Got to rely on Simple with the artillery of that AWP from the high ground, from range. Needs to alleviate some of this pressure because Boomich simply cannot get out of this position. Actually, if you're Na'Vi as well, if you don't get a kill here, I wonder if they just choose to save. It is a 5-on-5. They're going to maybe not go for it. They've dropped down now, rotating into a new direction, and here they come.
Feels bad giving up on a 5-on-5, but at the same time, I think you're right. It is tricky if you're going to try and retake this and just lose absolutely everything. The bomb is ticking, and it's been ticking for a while now. Simple takes down Kenny. Jack's not sure where to look. He's going to pick up Electronic and quick to read it, turning around for a double kill. Could even get the third one, Boomich very low on health, and Simple's going to be all alone in a 1-on-1, and Chox just backs on out of there. No chance at all for Simple to even do anything, and that is a second round for G2, a much-needed round.
That's fair play. That's a nice attempt on the retake, but even better from G2. They did something really, really cool, which I'm sure is not the first time that it's been done, but Shock's over in like the short sewers, just spamming through the wall as soon as the retake begins. He's spamming over towards, not graffiti, but that little choke point to get into the B-bomb site. Did a decent amount of damage and slowed things down. 6-2. And now you start kind of looking at the money issue. It disappeared pretty quickly with that mistake buy from Flamey, and now it can have an impact. If they're to lose this round, then you're a little frustrated that you accidentally bought a Negev.
Should have used it, I think is the lesson.
Definitely should have used it.
I still think there's a place for the Negev on Vertigo.
Okay.
I'm just putting it out there. Round number 9 here. Lucky still really having a rough time even as they win that round.
Yes.
That can happen. And actually, I mean, it's never fun if you're that player, but I always try and look for whether or not a player can then make it back. Like mentally, can you get back in the game?
Yeah, and what I always say is it's not necessarily about getting back in the game in terms of number, but just having an impact. Find your way to have an impact, even if it's just 1 kill and a 2 versus 2 that allows the victory or whatever it might be. Nice shot from Simple. That's the bomb as well. It's pushed forward. Shocks with a kill onto Electronic. Spanned right through the edge of the wall, but coming through the smoke, Jax is going to find his death, and Simple still alive and still holding the bomb in his control. No one from G2 is able to take him down until Shocks gets involved, but now the flank is there from Zeus, and the bomb's still on the ground, still being chased after, and Na'Vi have a 7-2 lead.
Yeah, a lot of trading towards the end. You could tell that G2, as they finally sort of cracked that defense on the A side, they just weren't ready for the flank that was coming in. It was all a little bit too chaotic, I believe, at the end. So 7-2. This is such a brilliant start. It's kind of a shot for Simple we expect, and the follow-up. I think he actually hit him twice before he took him down, but that made a big difference there. Big lead, and the money already not looking good for G2.
No,
wow.
Yeah, they couldn't string a pair of rounds together. 13-4 for Flamey. Even though the money is bruised a bit on the Na'Vi side now, G2 just cannot keep up the pressure, keep up the fight. So control stairs. Kenny is already out towards party, and Shock's far back at the B-bomb site, hoping these Deagles can provide a pick.
Just anything at all. to help with the current scenario. I mean, especially if you could open it up and get a bomb plant.
They do have 2 smokes and a flashbang, and they're all reconvening towards the B bomb site. So it'll be interesting to see how well they can handle Flamey and Boomich combined, who look like they both want to commit to fights at Monster. Boomich now able to look deep. Should be able to spot someone.
They're going to be probably all just grouping up against him. Should be taking this fight a little bit more effectively. Does a wonderful job readjusting even after the initial fight. And that's a very, very quick quad kill to take down everybody with Jax.
Yeah, no panic. And G2 doesn't even get to use their utility. Don't even get to try and make something happen out of it. So good round from Boomich. Navi going to get up towards 8. Still waiting for that kind of that G2 team that has that held so much promise before the player break, where you started to feel a little bit more excited about them.
Yeah, we need that back. I was generally in kind of a positive state about just having G2 and Vitality, you know,
just French Counter-Strike in general.
Yeah, and both of them working well at the same time in, like, you know, internal competition, driving things forward, all that stuff.
Look, if you need any more reason than the scoreline and what we've witnessed in these first 10 rounds to think that G2's in trouble, they're taking their 3rd tactical pause.
Yeah, in
the first 10 rounds of the game, first 11 rounds of the game. That signifies to me that their game plan is just not working. That they need to find a way to adjust. That they feel like they need to get. Obviously, you need more than 2 rounds on your T side, but this early on, already using 3 timeouts, trying to make those adjustments on the fly with the timeouts, and it's still not working. We'll see if this one has any impact. But certainly, if you're going to make a comeback in this game, or if it's going to be close down the stretch in the second half, and you don't have really a whole lot of timeouts to work with, that can spell doom just as easily.
Flamey playing very well at the moment too, which is another thing that's been missing, I think, from this. Everything was missing more or less from this Na'Vi team before their big break, but that's something else that's could be a huge factor for them. Because obviously we've seen Flamey in the past with some amazing performances, and then we've seen a pretty sharp drop off during all of the roster changes. Simple going to be going down to Kenny. That's a big kill though.
They know Boomich's location, but I don't know if they realize Flamey's here with him. The door opens the reverse way. It's lucky. And I think Na'Vi might want to start backing away from this fight, somehow finding a way to do it because they're about to get attacked. Jax and Amanek waiting outside Monster. Kenny S with a double kill. He has taken over this round. First the kill onto Simple being highly aggressive, then the follow-up. But B is still the commitment, and Flamey is here.
He probably is the one that could win this round and turn it if the timing works out for him. It's very weird because they've actually already walked through the Monster Tunnel, so they have the B bomb site. If you get the kill as a rotation and then buy even more time, he's going to take down Lucky. And still, what are they going to do? Are they going to stay in B?
Yeah, they're definitely going to do it. They're committed here. Flamey just now realizing as well the Molotov giving away the game, but 3-on-3. Kenny S waiting in the stairs as well, biding his time to get involved in the action. He's already got the 2 opening kills that G2 needed. Now he's got to help close things out. He's boxed as well. Boomich coming from behind him, and he's just going to bail out of the fight.
Yeah, not a bad choice. The rest are still holding on to it. A very, very hard retake here for Na'Vi. I don't see how they can really do this. Might want to think about saving a little bit because it's already taken a fair bit of time. They're trying to see if they get in through the L-bend. Boomich goes down. Jax with a beautiful follow-up, getting a second headshot, and Amanek there at the crossfire. And that will be a 3rd round, a much-needed round here for G2.
I liked the call for the retake, though, for Na'Vi, because you could see they tried to pick up the pace once they realized that Kenny was just retreating, and I think they realized there was a small gap, a window of opportunity where they had essentially a 3-on-2 at that B bomb site. It doesn't pan out for them, but I respect the effort. 8-3.
Yeah, this is starting to... There's at least a basis to work off of right now for G2. So in spite of the fact that they've taken so many tactical timeouts, now it's actually time for Na'Vi to get one. But if they can get up to like 5 rounds, that would have been worth it, right? Like then something you could actually do in the second half too.
Also, if you analyze that round, like obviously the mid-round decision in what the 4-on-3 or the 3-on-3 was really cool to kind of slowly work your way in towards the B bomb site and get that plant down and everything.
Yeah.
But your opening was provided by Kenny being super aggressive with the AWP, finding Simple, finding the other player in bathrooms as well. That's where you kind of look at it and you say, if you could rely on that frequently for Kenny S to do that, great. But can you rely on it? Because, too frequently we see that those are the kind of kills, those are the kind of openings that you're not going to get every single round.
Yeah, it's very hard to get. But even one, and even if it's not Kenny, just getting any opening kill right now for G2 would certainly make some of the decisions a little bit easier. Na'Vi actually having spent all of their money now, so there could be at a big changing point in the game.
This is one of those rounds that can really dictate how the half is going to end. He talked about getting opening kills. Maybe it wasn't Kenny, but Shox looks like he wants to get aggressive. Here's the spam, kind of starting to put together Boomich position.
Ooh, Zeus actually able to pick up Lucky, who is anything but at the moment. It feels like
that was a spam
that was
through the wall. Yeah,
You're
through
right.
the wall in towards the door room. So that is the least lucky thing that can happen to you.
That's him being 0-12 now. I'm not trying to, like, you know, single him out, but I mean, it does happen, unfortunately.
Not trying to single him out, but he is the only player in the server with 0 kills.
There we go. Thanks, Moses. Boomich waiting behind. You have to assume there's going to be some sort of flashbang to set this up as they're coming through. Oh, the smoke fades, and what an entry. Amanek with a big double there from the Krieg, and that's going to be a 3-on-3 now. Another bomb plant here. The Molotov going to try and land right on top. And I'm not sure it's going to actually do anything. No, landed right on top of the smoke, so not quite good enough here.
Simple with the AWP is going to have to provide something. Zeus spots him out, doesn't commit to the fight. Nice safe position for Amanek for the moment, but it's Electronic with one. That's from up top. He got aggressive, and now Kenny S is aware of the danger.
Yes, he is. Did the double opening. A little bit of a shoulder being shown. Kenny wants to fall back. He's going to recommit to the fight and taking down Zeus. Very important kill. And Kenny now actually looking under that corpse. That could be really interesting if anyone's going to try and take that angle, but so much time already passed, and yeah, now we get it back on out. G2 know it as well. A 4th round on the board here for the French side, and that really is a big difference.
Oh, third timeout's the charm. Right after that one, they've strung 2 rounds in a row, which they weren't able to do for the rest of this half. And they finally, that economy that Na'Vi built off the 2nd round victory is demolished. And you could see that's likely the reason why they choose to save these last 2 weapons on Electronic and Simple instead of going for it in the 2-on-2. Simple's got the AWP. He can change around single-handedly. We know that. Same with Electronic with the M4. So a little bit of things to work with. Question is for Na'Vi, how much do you invest around these 2 weapons? Boomich gets a Zeus. Zeus picks up the CZ and armor, and Flamey's got a Deagle. It's utility that they're lacking the most, but Simple does have a kit.
Yeah, Zeus on Boomich. It's always something. No run boosts being set up for it, but still. Any chance we can hear that sound of somebody getting Zeused?
Oh, it's a beautiful sound. One of my favorite sounds in CS. James and Dan should do a sounds of Counter-Strike with a Zeus. Jack's going to turn this corner, but there's 3 players in here. Zeus close up to his right. Same with Electronic. They're stacked up. That could be an easy double kill. They weren't initially aware of the possibility. There's Simple and Flamey with the Deagle. A 3rd player in bathrooms. They did not expect it, but Simple now, he's got a chance to pull off some magic, and it's a 1 versus 3.
Where do you even decide to go? I mean,
gamble.
Yeah, you just have to, right?
I think at least for the moment, and it's exactly what he's done, is you say, well, if you know I'm here and you killed everyone here, perhaps your decision is to immediately abandon and run towards the B bomb site, which is why Simple just did this. The question is now, when they haven't made a commitment and you have no information, how long do you stay here? Do you rotate back?
Yeah, I mean, it's sort of a coin toss, isn't it? There's no. It's hard to make a convincing case that there would be a right or a wrong answer this time. But setting up for the 2nd wall of smokes towards the A-bomb site, you can tell that it probably will be wrong call for Simple this time. No, you can't shoot through the bridge.
That was my next question.
I've tried.
How did you know?
I've tried. You can overshoot right around where Shox is now. You can shoot through the pavement into the... Like, actually, the line that separates, like, the curb and the asphalt, that's roughly where the spot is. So you can shoot through to the tunnels down there.
Have you ever actually tried that in, like, a game, like matchmaking?
Yeah, but I've found that my team starts to yell at me whenever I try these things.
Whenever they're fighting and you're just sitting in a corner shooting a spam?
People don't like that.
No, it's weird.
They really don't. It's like, yeah, we're gonna retake this. Just hold on, guys. Just give me 5 seconds while I'm shooting at the ceiling or
this
at the floor.
Anders guy is a real dickhead.
Yeah, that's... Listen, but if it works, you know...
That's true.
What a wonderful time.
Well, it's working for G2 at the moment, putting their 5th round on the board. They're back in the game now.
This is honestly great, isn't it? You like to see this kind of a comeback. You mentioned this thing about if you're lucky right now and you don't have a great game, you're not getting the kills, you're not getting the damage and all the rest of it. He's got a kill now, and you said, well, there are other ways to be useful, like, you know, you could get some information. I remember once, I think it was Apex who said, well, even if you can't do any of these things, just, you know, don't go quiet.
Yeah.
Keep coming up with ideas, like have an opinion about something that's going on. Don't just mentally fall back. And I actually think that could be important too. Looks like it's going to be a rush towards the B bomb site. Flamey caught flashed completely. They finally bought here, Na'Vi, but man, they might get overrun. Zeus doing a very good job with the double, and look at a flank coming in from Boomich. Gets one and almost taking down Shox. They might have actually held this defense. That was a very aggressive round out of G2, but now they're in trouble.
Yeah, especially because the bomb isn't the one in the site where the smoke is. That's on Shox, and he's kind of backing away, wrapping around the short sewers. Boomich has been aggressive there so frequently. That flank is just too fast to expect in the midst of the hit. Lucky swapping out to the AK-47. Now this would be a perfect time for Lucky. Despite the struggles, he's got Shox as a teammate at 25 HP. This is where you can step up if you're lucky. One kill that provides Shox an opening. One kill that might let you guys win this 2-on-3 and keep up the winning streak. They've won 3 in a row now.
They're actually reading this as a bit of a change. Na'Vi falling back a bit. That smoke in the tunnel is going to be really annoying. And Zeus just waiting on the other side. There is no flashbang to set up through the smoke from either player, so once it's gone, that's going to be the fight starting right away. 30 seconds left, and Lucky's going to be going down. Zeus with a really good position. Third kill of the round for him, and now Shox going to miss the chance. A quad kill for Zeus instead. And Na'Vi now, that's a pretty big round to be winning here. I mean, they could have lost that very quickly.
You mentioned it at the start of this map. What if Zeus finds a way? What if they find a way for Zeus to be more impactful than he has been in the past? He's 15-7 in this game so far. He's done tremendous work at the B bomb site to some of the various hits that he's seen. Quad kill here to help save the day. Na'Vi with a chance for a 10-5 lead. Final round of the first half, as G2 has fought back to a pretty respectable scoreline. At 1.8-2, now 9-5.
Simple ready over at long. He's got electronic there at the restrooms in case anything was going to happen. Quick boost. Oh, he actually sees that. That's a great shot.
He tagged him, 1 HP. That's pretty brutal, but what's an even better shot from Jax?
The grenade follow-up. Do they know? It doesn't land.
AVANGAR's like, thank God.
Yeah. Wow. That shot we'd love to see from AVANGAR's point of view. You see him try it once, and it looked like he sort of failed it one more time, and that was too much.
What of a turn of events for Boomich, getting the tag to 1 HP on AVANGAR, and then just getting deleted out of the air.
Good grenade, and great follow-up as well. Electronic. A lot of damage output up here at the A-bomb site. 50 seconds on the clock with the bomb now being picked up. But Shox, I think, is flanking down on the other bomb site. He's calling it out now, saying, listen, I've got control of B. Gonna be a big kill on Zeus. The Molotov to buy even more time. What a great play.
I think Na'Vi needs to just rotate over to the B bomb site and just be hyper-aggressive. Try and deny that plant for as long as possible, because they are a bit disjointed at the moment, but this is the last round. There's no saving here. They found Shox. This is what I mean. Hyper-aggressive. Bombs on the ground. And Simple's in position. Kenny sees one drop. But now a 2-on-2, and they have to attack the bomb site. AVANGAR 1 HP this whole round.
Right at that corner, Kenny going to be going down. And as you said, 1 health now. Not looking good at the moment at all. 15 seconds, and Simple will drop him at the end. A 10-5 in favor of Na'Vi here at the first half.
That's such a sick retake on the B bomb site, and a good first half, bolstered by a second round win for Na'Vi after losing the pistol, gave him a strong economy. 10-5 lead. We'll be right back after the break.
Welcome back here. We've got G2 and Na'Vi for a best of one on Overpass, and so far it's been 10-5 in the favor of Na'Vi. Not sure what to think of Na'Vi coming into this tournament, but right now what I'm seeing is actually really great. I love it. I think this 10-5 is great on the first half, but it could have been even better. I mean, G2 had a string of timeouts, and they got 5 rounds on the board, which was almost more than they could have asked for. They looked like they were really getting beat up.
It looked like they were just going to get wiped out of the server. You could see Boomich, that's him getting picked out by Jax. But yeah, you're exactly right. Although I mean, I find it pretty admirable that G2 is able to eke out 5 rounds of that first half, because it was looking terrible. Now this is where it can come into play, those 3 timeouts they used in the first half. If they have a solid defense and we're going down the stretch, you know, Duncan, I think, even predicted this was going to be a close game, 16-13, 16-12. That's where you're going to want some of those timeouts you used in the first half.
Very dangerous fight there for Shox. Either he might not have known it, but there is that P250 on the other side for Simple. So they were actually hoping for that kind of a long range. I think we see that every once in a while, that if you're on the CT side, especially on a map like this where it's long range, you just assume that your USP is going to be winning all long range fights. And even though the P250 buys aren't really a new thing, but you still you just lure yourself into this feeling of like, no, it's going to be fine. And then you run into one of them and you're like, oh, wait, that's true, right. You know, they could have that. A little bit closer now. Su's starting to make his way in with the Glock, or at least thinking about it. They're going to fall back. Shox
is in a position where he's got pretty decent cover back into the bomb site because Kenny S is peeking from the default plant spot for a bit. So Shox can actually gather a lot of information from this position, even if it's just the information that, hey guys, no one's here. Now they have Lucky playing all the way back, or excuse me, Jax playing all the way back at Graffiti, so it looks like a setup obviously designed to be a retake towards this B bomb site. That's going to at least give Na'Vi a plant.
Oh, smokes. Bouncing off the walls, falling right back down. Boomich already running onto the bomb site. Looking like a really cool execute, but Shox is going to pick up a kill. Lucky with another one, taking down Flamey. This is such a good start to the defense, and Lucky now following it up. A big double for him. Had a truly dreadful first half, but started the second here in the pistol, and he's really making up for it. Boomich trying to take that fight uphill, and he's going to get one burst fire kill on Lucky, still leaving Electronic in a 1 versus 2. And the bomb is ticking away. He's got no chance against Kenny, and that's going to be the pistol won by G2.
Great kills coming out for G2 in a timely manner. Right as the bomb is being planted, they get 2 frags to really eliminate a lot of the pressure on the post plant. Makes for a much much easier retake, even with the pretty nice shots from Boomich. I'm amazed that he even got those 2 kills to allow a chance for Na'Vi to win that pistol. It's both pistols going the way of G2, but in the first half, as we mentioned a couple of times, Na'Vi did return on the second, and there goes that P250 right on the ground immediately.
Was that Simple reacting to that?
I can't believe he hit such a crazy shot. And everyone's like, Simple, you hit those all the time.
Yeah, please don't. You can't complain. Like,
yeah, you are the last person who had to complain.
Shox setting up a smoke for the monster tunnel all the way from CT spawn. Become kind of a classic, hasn't it?
Another buy for Na'Vi. Krieg, Galil, 2 Kriegs and a Galil.
You know, there's a Molotov you can throw from T-spawn, Moses, to stop that smoke from going down.
Okay.
You can land on because the smoke bounces off of the actual
train tracks.
The train tracks, yeah. Yep. You can have it hit that and stop it.
It's a big investment.
Yeah. You are kind of, if you throw it and they're not even smoking the tunnel, it's all for nothing, right?
They feel a little silly.
But if you are going to go for a B rush and you want to make sure, maybe.
Yeah, that's a good point. Well, smoke clears. It's re-smoked as well. Electronic going for the spam. I wonder if they have to hear that. They're continuing it. Almanac down to 20 HP. Kenny has dealt some damage as well, so some nice chip damage coming out from this offensive side early on in the round to soften a few players up, and Simple wants to investigate. That's a good kill. Doesn't realize there's one directly to his left. He hasn't fully cleared it out, and he is going to go down. Good patience from Almanac, and now the advanced position of Shox with the UMP. Double kill from him. Even though the bomb site is lost, they have the bomb. Electronic and Boomich have to go retrieve that. 30 seconds on the clock.
Shox being up that far when the rest of the fight's happening in the bomb site, and he's all the way pushed down towards the connector. That's going to be so hard to read if you're coming in as the T side there. Yeah, a huge play coming out from G2 in general, and Amanek finding a way to make himself super useful even if he was that low early on. He got a double kill towards the end, and that's nicely done. 10-7, and G2 now really starting to look a lot better here. I just needed a good start here in the second half.
Well, it's nice that they're able to actually, you know, build off that pistol and convert it instead of dropping that over to Na'Vi. 10-7, pistols, deagles bought up. 5 deagles for the Na'Vi side. But you do have the op on Kenny S. Got 8 kills, a relatively quiet game for Kenny.
Yeah, it is. But he was also playing the T side, and I guess they were a bit low on money, so...
I think the best round that I can recall him having is the entry kill with the op towards bathrooms when he picked off Simple, and then his teammate a little bit later. That gave G2, I think, their second round of the opening half.
2 creeks now being stolen as well by the CT side. So again, I mean, this is another one of those maps where it can really be an issue that you have to peek into someone holding a corner with that. Kenny making sure that they can't easily rush him down for the smoke. Pretty good flick there to take down Flamey. They have deagles, so you don't want to be taking, you know, too many long-distance fights when you don't need to. But
and just as you're talking about the danger of going up against a Krieg, it's Almanac who has that, who's guarding Kenny S's long A. So Kenny doesn't even have to peek over there, doesn't have to worry about it whatsoever. He's fully focused towards these 2 choke points around bathrooms. Electronic wants to find him jumping over the boxes. There's only 1 flashbang for Na'Vi in 38 seconds. So they have a little bit more time to play with to try and find a pick with the deagle, but G2 is doing really well here. They're not giving them a whole lot of opportunities to find picks.
yeah, taking one right next to the trash receptacle. Then that doesn't really, I mean, it just a little bit of cover in case they try and hit a shot on you with the deagle. Maybe some of it gets caught by that and you don't actually go down, so still very much worth it. 3rd kill of the round for Kenny. That defensive warping sometimes can feel a little bit better, especially on that A side. 10-8. G2 starting to really make their way back.
The great thing is that G2 doesn't lose any players there. Look at their money. It's going to start ballooning a little bit. Kenny S still with the op, Almanac still with his Krieg, same with Shocks. And right around 3,000 in the bank. This is the best start you could have in the second half if you're G2, and you could see Malik just previously hyped up for these victories. Getting off to a good start in the second half, 8-10 as G2 closed the gap. Still haven't seen Simple with an AWP in the second half just yet.
Just a quick smoke down to buy time, I guess. Amanek immediately falling back.
Posturing as if there's some kind of presence for the CT side in the staircase.
Yeah.
So forcing, you know, that information to be passed along over towards Na'Vi. You know, Flamey is saying, you know, smoke, there could be someone here. Good spam from Electronic. Jax can't get into cover quick enough, and that might actually give Zeus the courage to take this peek and try and find another fight.
I believe he had the MP9 there, Jax. So I guess in terms of, you know, weapon loss, that's not such a big deal, but being down a man this early on, that is no fun at all. And they're kind of giving up on the B-bomb site.
It feels like, I think, a gamble stack. Rotate everyone over towards A and just hope they hit that bomb site, but you almost feel like you don't need to do it. Lucky's still here, but he hasn't spotted Electronic moving in. And that is a very dangerous, you want to talk about like an assassin hitman situation. Electronic can just peek whenever he wants with impunity. And there's no information that Lucky has that would let him know someone is there. The question is, does Lucky stick around and actually try and find a kill or two so his team can rotate back into this, or does he just give it up?
Oh, he's going to see the shadow, and he's very quick on the trigger this time. Taking down Flamey, the bomb being planted. And they are going to start to rotate a couple of people in. I feel like they need to be, well, very, very good in getting some early fast kills here, or it's not going to matter, and they might as well just pack it up. Even if it's a 4-on-4 here, you need to be so quick about it. That was one of the opportunities right there. Could have maybe taken down Simple. Zeus going to be dropped by Amanek. Now, again, speed is really the key here. Simple getting 1 kill in return, and they were slowly being bled players on the G2 side. So what could have been 4 safe rifles might end up being a lot less than that. They don't have a kit on the guy defusing. That's Kenny holding it instead, and that's going to be such a big kill for Simple. And that's exactly enough. Kenny, even with the kit, that's not going to be in time. So instead of saving 4 rifles, they save none and still lose the round. That's, I don't know, that's what happens sometimes when you sort of, you go for a retake and you feel like all the time like it's almost working, and you get sort of lured into it.
Well, I think it's actually okay, just simply because G2 actually, you know, kills everyone on Na'Vi. They find all those frags. So yeah, Navi's going to reinvest in this out of a victory, but not a great buy for them. It's not going to be anything super special. If you're G2, this hurts. You're going to have to buy all the way down, but you have a very, very strong buy to be able to have an immediate rebuttal. So for G2, I mean, that isn't a loss quite yet until this round is over.
You're right. So it's like they postponed the decision on that for the next round. We'll see, depending on who wins this. Well, I like this from Kenny. Very aggressive over at the bathroom side. Boomich trying to land that shot. Looked like it could have worked.
Holy hell, yeah, you're right. Kenny, I didn't even realize he's all the way up at Playground. Yeah. He's cut this map in half. Now, if you're G2, you still have to be mindful. You know they can come up the danger stairs and kind of attack through bathrooms that way, but you could see the way Amanek is rotating away, they're going to take that risk. They're just going to camp 4 players at this B bomb site. Kenny can have a very fast flank, and with the range of the AWP, he can be involved in the retake at a very early point.
There's 3 of the G2 players, though, are stacked on top of each other down there at the sewer water. That could be an issue. Flashbang right in the eyes of Electronic. Couldn't really see anything for a long time there. Is this defense going to hold? Even if they have everybody here, I'm so worried about the stack here. One good grenade and everybody could be flashed. There's certainly one of them there. No one peeking behind it. Electronic going to be going down. That's a good beginning to the defense. The bomb gets planted. No flank coming in from Kenny. He's going to go back the other side instead, and Jack's now falling. Still a 4-on-4.
I can't believe Kenny didn't actually push forward and flank. He could have had some shots into the monster tunnel where Simple and Flamey are. Now, in a long rotation back, he's still not involved in the retake. His teammates are doing all the work. He needs to get there much, much faster. And time is ticking away for G2 in this round. Lucky turning the corner, wants to find Boomich over towards Sandbags, but look at how slow this is. And Na'Vi, they're starting to fall apart. It's all on Zeus, and he can stop the defuse, but no, he commits to the fight a little early, and he can't. Wow. G2's gonna win it. Zeus, that moment of hesitation was his opportunity.
Wow, that is absolutely crazy. That looked like it was not going to be a retake. I'll be honest, that did not look very convincing. I agree, Kenny very, very late to get there, and just everything felt way too hesitant, and it turns out it was just fine. 11-9.
Oh, I cannot believe Zeus stopped to take that initial fight. And now this is what we talked about. You kind of delay the consequences of that previous loss. And now it kind of, I mean, it still matters. Obviously, you don't want Na'Vi to get any more rounds, but G2 avoids the disaster of losing their entire economy at this stage in the game.
And they inflict heavy economic damage to Na'Vi in return.
And it's a big decision for Na'Vi now in this timeout of whether they want to invest and buy or not. Because if they do, this is about the same amount of money they just had in the previous round, which they weren't able to actually win.
I can't exactly explain why. Wow, Kenny's really excited. That's what I love to see that. It feels like Na'Vi have not had any easy time at all finding individual battles against G2. You know, where's the time where Flamey or Simple or Electronic, maybe more Simple and Electronic, just clean takes somebody's face off with an AK? So like just any round that starts like that, you're like, okay, fine, like now we can make different decisions. But it's like they're having a hard time even finding the French players because they're really far back and they're not giving them many opportunities, which credit to G2 for playing that way, I think, on the CT side, because you don't want to give that to Simple or Electronic. But what did Na'Vi do to make up for that? Like, how did they get something going where they can just start out with a nice round, opening?
We haven't seen them like too quickly aggressive over towards bathrooms a whole lot. We've seen it a couple times with Deagles, with Galils and such. But yeah, you're right. I don't have the answer for you, Anders.
Well, it's okay. Maybe we can see if they can come up with one. They're going to try and flash their way through. I'm guessing pretty soon it's just going to be an all-in on this bomb site with flashbangs and a couple of smokes. Here they come around the pillar. Jack's going to be picking up a great couple of kills. A third one to pretty much shut it down. The pistol, I mean, he could have just as well done it. Instead, it's Shock to sneaking in quickly from behind there. And Simple, that's that nice Deagle headshot. You'd like to see that.
It felt like he was going to hit that shot before he actually took the shot.
Yeah, you knew, didn't you?
Yeah, it was weird. Well, he's got an M4, 1-on-3, no armor, and he's only got 30 seconds to work with. But going back to this A bomb site, that would be a 1-on-1. And the question is, how committed is Kenny going to be to stop the plan? If Simple actually gets aggressive to get into the bomb site, Kenny's playing way deep in towards bank, so especially the $800 bonus money would be so helpful for Na'Vi.
It really would, and I would say absolutely there's no reason for Kenny to be overly aggressive here. Oh, nice jump.
That's a really cool jump peek, and I think he just makes the educated guess or just takes the risk and say, okay, if you have one player playing that far back in bank, likely there's no one else here, because otherwise you would play a bit more aggressive when you have the confidence of a teammate and Simple pushes forward. There's a real chance here in a 1-on-2.
Now they do have a smoke, which is going to make a massive difference once he picks up this AWP. Going to be smoking on top of the bomb. He's got the deagle out instead. He's already heard it. He knows they're going to be there. It's a couple of seconds left, and Simple, he's got one chance for a headshot, and he's not going to get it. Still, really, really impressive job, and they're going to take that AWP away. He made that competitive. That 1 versus 2, good job on them for retaking from the other side, sort of limiting their exposure, but still, that if they don't have that smoke, that's scary.
Yeah, that could be, that might change the whole round. It's a little unfortunate for Simple. The only safe place to plant was blind to the position he had to go in to put himself in that scenario, in that 1 versus 2. 11 to 10. Money not great for G2, though. That's the other factor of that round, of that becoming expensive with the extra $800 going to Na'Vi. 3 players dying for G2. Lucky, Shocks, and Jax are really hurting in the money category.
Yeah, it's still a game that's very open. I mean, 11 to 10, not just the scoreline, but there isn't a team right now that has such a huge economic lead that they can afford to just start to relax in any way. What's that? Jax at 18, 19 on Flamey leading the server overall. And look at Lucky's return to the game. A lot of credit to him for starting to pick it up again.
He ended the first half with, what, 3 kills in it?
Something like that. Oh, wow.
Molotov combo, electronic waiting. That is very nice teamwork to find that kill. Simple yet effective.
That's everything you could ever hope for. In fact, sometimes I think teams overall completely miss that aspect of the game. It's like some people almost, it's like they convince themselves, or the team convinces itself, that the only way to have big results is to have really deep and elaborate strategies. And it's like sometimes actually those kind of setups are just what you need.
Nice shot from Flamey. An electronic combining for the 2 kills that Navi's had, but look at the avenue that opens up towards the A bombs. That gives them a lot of space, but Shocks is going to follow it up. I think Simple's aware of the possibility. He's going to go check for it. This is a big fight and a big win for Simple. Back to the B bomb site we go, and electronic has already creeped all the way along that back wall, right underneath the ramp, away from any vision that wasn't even there to begin with. So Lucky rotating back, he's going to find Simple. That's perfect timing, because Zeus had just crossed over. That's the bomb as well, but unfortunately he cannot hold on longer. Only 8 seconds on the clock when he went down.
Oh, take a shot through the box. Oh, you almost could have done it. I mean, that's... If he gets that shot and headshots him through the box, that would have been really something, but...
I think Na'Vi quits the server if that happens.
Probably going to be putting a few people on tilt.
Yeah, a bit tilted after that one if it had happened. So a 12th round for Na'Vi, and this is where the money scenario gets sketchy.
This is one of those rounds that I was actually asking for earlier, right? Where they just get aim fights early on. And you see, you know, Flamey with the Krieg, instant headshot, Simple, instant follow-up there at the apartments. Those are the kind of things that, again, given the kind of players that are on Na'Vi, you want that a lot.
No, but I like that too, because yeah, they found some individual fights, but most of it was due to teamwork, right? That Molotov in towards Toxic, which allowed Electronic to get the first kill of the round. Flamey, I believe that was a trade after his teammate, that Boomich got taken down long, and Amanek pushes in towards bathrooms, and Flamey is just kind of there for the trade. So yeah, it's I mean, the individual skill battles, but there's you know, they're reading the game the way that, you know, the defense has been presented.
Yeah, I mean, it's absolutely great. But I feel like even some of those fights, they even haven't been able to find earlier. They've just, the friendship been so far back that even those things haven't been possible.
Well, this round could be heartbreaking, and this is so important. So let's focus up on this one, because G2 is fully invested into this, and it's been such a great comeback from at one point early on in the first half, down, what, 8-2. They were just getting absolutely battered. And all that hard work to claw back to be at 10-11 at one point, it could just disappear here. If they lose this and Navi's up to 13 and G2 has no money, this map could just fizzle away. So G2, this is an all-important round for them on this comeback.
Well, they've been granted restrooms control for now, Na'Vi. Only Amanek there to keep an eye on it. Doubt he's going to stick around and fight forever, but the off angle maybe could net him a kill. They just have so little to work with here on the G2 side, and yeah, you're right. It could be heartbreaking. They had a very rough beginning and
potentially a rough end.
And potentially a rough end. But the time in between that, you've got to give them a lot of credit for fighting their way and back into it.
This double stack. This is where they're putting all their cards for this last round. What a great trade from Simple. He gets dinked, though. He's down to 2 HP, which is going to make things much easier for Kenny. They didn't expect that follow-up, and he's actually going to get away. They could not punish him quick enough. That's huge.
Yeah. Thought for sure Kenny was going to get hunted. Now the rotation is happening and they're trying to get in a lot of trouble. He's going to go down. Boomich with one, but Kenny doing an amazing job. Big double kill with the FAMAS, and now it's Zeus versus Shox. 1-on-1, 10 seconds, and Shox can't stop the bomb plant. Zeus still has almost all of the advantage here. Now it is a bit of a, I would say, a bit of an edge as well, just having Shox left. He picks up a Kriegel on the way, so not going to have to rely on the CC. And that's a big deal too.
The time that Shox has to spend clearing out angles, though, is going to give so much time for this play from Zeus to come to fruition, and I think Zeus might have just won it just by his positioning.
Yeah, very hard for Shox to know to look where he just was 5 seconds ago. He was just coming through this angle, and now Zeus not seeing anyone defusing. It's going to be a 10-second defuse, and Shox, you could tell he's running out of time, and Zeus absolutely knows. He's read this very well. What a great example of just... You don't always need to have great aim. I mean, this is a round he gets double kills, so fair enough, but you can just position your way into a victory sometimes.
Well, you want to talk about Zeus stepping up for this team out of the break. It's not always going to be with volumes of kills, obviously, in his case. He's at 19 right now, so this is a very good game for him in that sense, but it's rounds like that have just pulled you out of like the clutches of defeat. That's a round that G2 almost turned in their favor, and Zeus, the kills to kind of even things up, and the positioning in the post plant to ensure that 1-versus-1 victory. And now it's the nightmare for G2. It's happened. They don't have money to fight for in this round. It's just the one Krieg that Shox has saved, but they can't even invest in armor. Only Jax with the upgraded CZ, Amanek with the P250. I think Kenny S just bought a P250 right at the end there, but not a whole lot to be happy about for the French side.
No, this is very rough. 13-10. I guess well, a slight silver lining, maybe, is the fact that Na'Vi don't have a lot of money either to work with. So if they can get a couple of kills on this round, there's still a chance for a return.
Well, there's a chance for a little bit of G2 returning the favor. Lucky and Shox pushing out of the monster tunnels, have all the information that no one's at B. We saw Na'Vi win a round like this the second round in the first half when Boomich pushed and got all the information. Similar case here. G2 can stack up at the A bomb site. The tough part is Shox has the Krieg. That's heading towards T-spawn. So if Na'Vi commit, the strongest weapon is not going to be involved in the action. And Shox, I think, is just too far away for this to be secured in any sense. 14th round for Na'Vi, certainly on the cards.
Heads up play for Na'Vi to be checking that corner even as they clear the first off angle.
It was a different person as well.
Yeah. Yeah, it was Zeus actually going for that secondary peek. You could even understand if you make that mistake and you just think, that's it, you know.
Well, I wonder if it was the bait and switch that that G2 pulled off in the previous round with Kenny S and Amanek.
Yeah, it could be.
They're like, all right, those sneaky French guys did this last time. Let's clear the corner the whole way.
That's good. You know, every little thing matters here, including, especially for Na'Vi right now, keeping all the rifles alive. The economy is probably the way that G2 can start to get back into this game, so...
I don't even think chasing this down is...
Yeah.
Even that, I mean, it's not the worst thing in the world, but I almost would like to see Na'Vi preserve what a little economy they do have, because you're exactly right. That is the best way for G2 to get back into the action. 2 kills, going to force 2 rebuys, and Lucky keeps the gun anyways. That's a lot of economy taken away from Na'Vi right at the end of the round.
Yeah. It won't have an impact immediately now, but if G2 start to make their way back in the game, yeah, later on, those 2 rifles could be what you need. 14-10. And moving into round number 25, we do have a tough position here for G2 to be in.
Yeah, final timeout being used, all 4. 3 in the first half. They've held on to this one, fair play, as long as they could in the second half. But from here on out, it's going to be whatever the 5 players in the server can think up. No more timeouts to have the assistance of the coach. 14-10 as freeze time is coming to a close. You do have the op on Kenny S. No armor, though. Glass cannon for him. Simple hasn't used the AWP on this T side, and he's got one now as well.
Amanek pushing forward, only for a second there. Kenny gonna go up to a classic position over the flower bed over at long, and yeah, I mean, you don't have any armor. That's not such a bad position to be in, even if people can actually boost and look over at the birthday party.
We've seen lately, yeah. As well, it feels like there hasn't been a whole lot of action on that side of the map for Na'Vi on their offense. They've largely ignored that part of the map.
Yeah.
I think once or twice they've sent Boomich there, pretty much all on his own. So Kenny S in that position, not feeling any pressure, not seeing any action, wants to rotate away. I mean, this is the stage of the game where you look to your star players like Kenny S with the AWP and say, we want you to have an impact. And unfortunately for him, now that he's given up the position, Na'Vi going to come right back and attack it. Zeus with the bomb leading the way, Simple in support, Boomich and Flamey going through the main entrance of bathrooms, which is currently smoked off. And another aggressive stance for the B defense. Jackson Shocks take control of short water.
And this could be huge. Just even in terms of rotational time to get up to help that A-bomb side if they go for it. There's Shocks getting a kill on Flamey and Connector, but Simple...
Through the smoke.
Yeah, immediately return to take down Kenny. And Jax is also taking down Electronic. Na'Vi actually pushing the A-bomb side, but they could get flanked really quickly from Jax if there's just a little bit of time bought here. Lucky at the corner. Amanek with the crossfire takes one and a quick double in. That's going to be such a nice tap. What an incredible triple from Amanek. That looked beautiful. Oh,
and that's such a good round for G2 to win. Now, I mean, they keep 4 players alive, so they build up money. They've also got a free double op setup. One is going to be on Lucky, one is going to be on Kenny S. What a turn of events, and you're exactly right. Even though if Na'Vi, if they had all the success at that A-bomb site, that flank was going to come up the stairs behind them very, very quick.
This last kill that is so cool.
I don't even know if he would have chosen to tap there if he didn't have 4 bullets left in the magazine. I think he heard the click of the ammunition running out, and he was just like, well, I have to be precise. I have to just tap.
Yeah, it's not easy to do. Like I feel like that is one of the harder things to do, is to transition out of a spray into tapping, you know?
Yes.
Doesn't always work that well. 14-11 though. Double AWP on the G2 side. And the economy for Na'Vi, well, under a lot of pressure.
Yeah, very stressed out. Boomich down to a CZ. They've got a 3-round buffer, so if they're forced to save here, it's not the end of the world. Boomich is going to step in front of the re-smoke. Ooh, and that was a very patient shot from Kenny S that he's probably frustrated it didn't connect. He took his time with that. He knows there's pressure here, and he's looking for the follow-up.
Molotov to put some more pressure on him. In fact, Amanek with a very big kill there on Electronic. Oh, missed opportunity as they jump around the corner and almost hunting him down. Boomich nearly getting close to Kenny. There's a good kill for Simple. Still a 3-on-3 with about 35 seconds left here. Kenny unable to find a target at the moment, but Jax will show up, and there's Kenny taking down Simple. 30 seconds, 1 versus 3, and the bomb never planted in this round, and it never will be either. G2 now well within striking distance to turn this game.
I cannot believe they've held on like this. 12-14. The comeback is still here. 22 on Simple and Flamey. 21 on Amanek and 20 on Jax for the G2 side of things, but they're going to force Na'Vi back to pistols, back to a save. Deagle being invested in by Electronic, maybe a couple more, pick one of those up, but for the most part, Na'Vi want to preserve what little economy they do have.
Very, very good stuff.
You gotta give props to our desk, not that it's unusual, but they have pretty much called this one perfectly. A close, grinded out affair between these two teams.
You are right. Agreement that Na'Vi would, you know, would be a pretty good team here, and they're close. They're right there, but the fact is the economy could be what stops them from actually making it to the finish line. Kenny, again, a lot of backup here in case they try and get close. They don't even have any grenades there on the Na'Vi side, so short of like an incredible Deagle kill, I'm not sure how you get close to this bomb site.
And Almanac has played this position at the A-bomb site with a Krieg like 3 rounds in a row. Over towards long, right at that corner, hold the line if they try and come up the stairs as well.
Yeah.
Actually, Na'Vi might be given a gift here. Shocks is so close and so aggressive. They can trade this kill. He gives up his position and right through the wall. Flamey's got that. Boomich then peeks from the main choke point. Kenny is going to be forced back after being tagged. And now they're under pressure. But Almanac, again, as I said, 3 rounds now that he's done this, and it's been so effective. Na'Vi have struggled to clear this position without losing too much manpower, and he's doing it again. One more time for Almanac. And he's going to get G2 to 13. He's going to get them closer. It's only Flamey, and there he goes. Almanac once more. 4 kills in the round, and that's 14-13. And Shock's immediately telling everyone on the team to calm down. It's not over yet.
He's a hero, especially in the second half, as you set up at that A-bomb side. But I think overall, he's leading the board right now for G2. Fantastic. We actually, the whole server, 25 and 19. Great couple of rounds for Amanek, and just could be what they need right now. 14-13 as we take it into round number 28. Double in the hands of G2, and Na'Vi spending what money they have to try and just get to 15 at the very least. They need it. They've been on the edge of winning this map for a while, it seems, but they need to find the last 2 rounds somehow.
Yeah, they've been stuck at 14 for a while now, 3 straight for G2. And this is another slow-paced round. Some spam coming through. Jackstown very, very low. 17 HP. He's fortunate to get away with his life. 3 defenders at this B-bomb site. I'm not even sure Na'Vi has seen Lucky with the op yet.
No, probably not.
That double op, he picked that up quite some time ago.
And they're going to give it to Jax instead because of the health, so makes sense. Under a minute now. Grouping up outside of the B-bomb side. It's Boomich just holding the line, making sure no one's flanking in over at the restrooms, but it looks like it is going to be time for a B execute.
Question is, what does Boomich do over at A? Was he gonna? I thought he might try and throw a fake or some kind of presence, and unfortunately, it's the wrong kind. It's the one that Kenny S immediately picks up an easy kill. So does Jax with the op, but they both fall after that. It crumbles. Shox is coming in for a quick flank. It's all on Flamey to watch for that, and he does. He does it well. Big kill for Flamey.
Yeah, that makes a difference. Now they know where the rest of the retake is going to be happening from Kenny. He's got a big chance there, getting the kill. Now almost walking into it. He tries for the no-scope right for the wall. He runs and takes down Zeus, and he's hunting. He wanted to chase down Simple. He's already got the triple. This is already out of control for Kenny. What a round from him. But now, how does he get the defuse in? He's got the kit, but no smoke to really try and bait Simple in. He's going to go for the fight instead. Inside of the monster tunnel, looking the wrong way, and Simple will clear it out. 15. Oh, and you see the relief on his face as well.
It's just so much pressure gets taken off once you get to 15, but Na'Vi still have a lot to tough through. The economy is not going to be great. Despite the fact that they win that round, no one has a lot of money. The unfortunate thing for Kenny, because that USP shot into water was a thing of beauty. He obviously knew where both players were at one point, but it felt like he lost track of Simple. You could see him checking over towards Toxic Barrels, over towards the ramp and the sandbags. He thought Simple had gone towards the left, even at the end, checking that final corner to his left side. And Simple wins the one-on-one. 2 chances now for Na'Vi to close out this map.
Yeah, things really taking a turn for the worse here at the end for the French side. Again, I'm kind of impressed that they've managed to do this. I think Duncan specifically said Na'Vi.
16-13.
He did, didn't he?
Sick freak.
Yeah. Gonna get a chance to highlight that, isn't he, if it works out?
Yeah,
We'll
he'll be pretty pleased with himself. Although I think he would have been whether he got the prediction wrong or not, so.
That's a good point.
Yeah, he was going to be pleased with himself either way.
It's one of his strong suits, really.
It's best quality.
Round number 29 as well. Could even get a bit of overtime if we're real lucky. Not the last game of the day.
No, we have one more coming up.
Which is in itself good news.
Yeah, that's going to be MIBR versus NIP. That's going to be, oddly enough, a fun one, but we'll get to that in a minute. Jackson Kenny holding control of short sewer. Kenny having a deep peek, so also getting information as he sees no one cross towards Monster.
I think Zeus lead with the Deagle. Not a bad idea. Minimal exposure if anything goes badly.
He also, with the Deagle, buying up full utility, still has $1,000 to play with, so being economy-minded, I guess is the best way to put it.
Ooh. Electronic and Kenny in a mental standoff, and it's going to be Electronic get the angle first. Kenny taking him down easily. This AWP for Kenny has just been so much better in the second half than it ever was in the first half.
I think there's a little bit of indecision from Na'Vi that actually froze them in place, because once they see Kenny with that kill, you kind of have a couple options. You can either try and attack the door and keep him boxed in and try and wrap around. You know in that scenario there's likely a second player watching for just that. Or you can hustle forward towards the A bomb site. Kenny's going to have another chance. Ooh. He just barely gets away. Flashbang out, improvise on the run.
Yeah, that was very scary. They almost ran him down. Only 13 seconds on the clock here, Na'Vi. And yeah, I think they're just going to back on out. There's no reason to do anything but that. Man, you wonder as well, because Kenny's been playing on the other side of the map for the entire second half here. So once you see him get a kill down there, you might be like, what?
Yeah, why is he there?
What does that make for the rest of the defense? We just don't know.
Fair play. I like that adaptation because it feels like Kenny, with this op in the second half, hasn't been involved in a whole lot of the action.
Yeah, or at least they can try and dodge him, right? Yes. Like the only time he's been doing great job in the A bomb side, but that's when they actually go to A. So if they can avoid him by just going somewhere else, that's going to be tricky. Now, maybe they have to even second guess that as we go into the 30th round here. Na'Vi and G2, what a fantastic game this has turned into.
I don't want to gloss over it. I really like the call for Na'Vi to just save right at the end of that. They didn't have what they wanted. They didn't have what they looked for, so bail out. If you go forward and you just try and force the issue and lose, you've got nothing to play with in this round. At least here, they had some extra cash. As we mentioned, Zeus left over $1,000 to buy up utility, and they can try again.
They will. Look at how close they are. They're already through the monster tunnel. They're setting up with a flashbang. This could be absolutely deadly. There's the Molotov, and they're going to go right on Lucky. He had no idea. He saw the Molotov, but he thought, yeah, sure, that means eventually they're going to show up. Aminik and Jax, though, great return kills. And through the flash and the smoke, he almost could have had that. Looked like the angle was good enough, but still a 4-on-3 here. And let's see, is it going to be a win for Na'Vi, or are we going to get to overtime?
Look at the boost. Look at the boost on Kenny. Oh, he fell off of it. They can actually go for that. It's a weird scenario for the CTs to do it, but 3 players in water. Kenny with the first kill opens up the retake.
Now it's almost impossible here. Simple missing a chance, and all on Flamey. There are 4 people on the other side. I don't see how it can even happen. Shots will take him down, and we're going to get overtime as Jax gets a double. That was, I mean, great defense being put up there in spite of the explosive play towards the bomb side.
Yeah, what a weird round. They switch positions. The T side comes through Monster. The CT side has control of the short sewers. And the retake is already in position when they get into the bomb site just because they held on to that. 15-15, G2 complete the comeback. Fair play.
Yeah, you can't really say they didn't fight for it. That was hard way to get back into the game. But it worked out. And now, I don't know. That opens it all up. The money issues go away, at least for a bit.
For now, yeah, for now. We'll see. The CT side can still run into some pretty terrifying money issues in overtime. If they lose the first 2 rounds, you don't have anything to fight with in the third. It's 10,000 start money and 3 rounds per side in overtime. Especially for Oppers, you can put yourself in a really scary situation, as you can see Kenny S and Lucky both buying up the AWP with full utility. Puts them at right around 3,000.
Early grenades being exchanged over at long, but nothing much comes of it. They've been pretending to be here for a while, G2, but they're actually just falling back, and now they finally are here. The Molotov, though, that's a big giveaway, and Flamey will take him down easily.
Nice follow-up nade. Kenny could have eaten a lot of damage there, just a little too far. But now he has to make a decision. You could see he's choosing to stick here. He can be wrapped upon from behind. Simple trying to peer towards highway. Flashbang comes out. Kenny still holding, and he's found a kill. Goes for the follow-up, re-aggresses. There's no one now in bathroom. Flamey's given up that position. He cannot push forward to eliminate this position.
And because Jackson Lucky was so close all the way out of the B bomb side to help out Kenny, I mean, even that's a cool idea. That does mean giving up the B defense, but they can look for the tunnel to see if anyone's going to show up. So I actually love this improvised defense for G2.
Yeah, this is a very weird round, and it seems like Na'Vi doesn't really know how to read it, because Jax has switched position. He's got so advanced under ladder, he can flank very quickly. Yeah, Electronic is mindful of it.
Yeah, but Boomich might be the only one who can save this round right now. Might even be too late now that Flamey, but he's at least at the A bomb side. Maybe he could open something up for the Na'Vi side, and now that Zeus is getting shot in the back, I'm not sure it's going to be easy. Electronic has got the bomb, and he's all the way on the other side. Are they going to try and wrap around through CT spawn into the B bomb side? 15 seconds left. Lucky's on the side. They need to shoot him in the back right now. 10 seconds and the bomb. That's it. Round done. Yeah, they needed Boomich, and I mean, there is a world in which that actually can work.
Oh, Lord, what a one-tap. No real impact to the round, but not bad.
Smiting him, didn't he? Just.
Well, the one nice thing it's done, it's taken the ops away. So even in a victory, that chews a lot of money up for G2. They're going to recover. It's not going to be a disaster or anything like that, but it's something to just keep your eyes on for the next round. If they can't win this, the oppers are going to be really depleted in their funds. But yeah, Na'Vi somehow almost improvised a way out of that round. You're exactly right. They almost found their way in such a crazy situation where it felt like Na'Vi didn't really know what to do. Electronics still far back towards T-spawn with 20 seconds left in the round.
Yeah, they did seem confused. Setting up for what looks like a much, much quicker B execute this time. Grenade. Going to be a little bit too soon into the tunnel. The Molotov there. That is a clutch grenade to slow them down. And Na'Vi, they didn't spend everything, but they actually did spend all of the smokes in this round, even setting this up. So they need to do something, but everybody's here from G2.
Oh, that is a huge gift. Right through the smoke, Boomich spams down Jax. I think that's like the second or third time we've seen him on the CT side get spammed through smoke. Simple over the top, looking for any kind of rotation. There's a timer on this, though, as the smoke fades, and Shox is going to get aggressive. Hiding inside of the smoke, just waiting, biding his time, and his time is now. Double kill for Shox in overtime, and now he falls back.
Got the gift through the smoke, but immediately taken back from Shox and then some. That's a great way to recover. Now they committed to it with all the smokes and everything, and they just couldn't find a way through. I don't know if it was the Molotov in the tunnel or if it was a counter flash or what it was, but something slowed them down enough that they couldn't really do much, and now 2 versus 4.
I think it was a combination of the Molotov in towards Monster and also hearing all their own nades like being put out, like smokes in the bomb site as well, and you're just like, well, there's no way for us to really go through this. Kenny has the information, has the quick peek. A second round in overtime for G2, and now... Yeah, is that what did it for you?
Yeah, that was great.
Your bar for comedy is that low?
Listen, I'm just saying.
It's like the couch thing, except maybe he's in a waterbed.
Those have really gone out of style, haven't they?
Waterbeds?
Yeah, nobody has a waterbed anymore.
It's just weird.
I think it's what happens when they break.
That's a terrifying prospect.
And I think it was even proved that they're not actually good for your back at all. In fact, people
providing absolutely zero support.
Yeah, everything. But it feels like it should be great.
It feels like it should, yeah. I think it's only fun when you're a kid. As you get older, they lose their magic. Final timeout for Na'Vi. It's their 4th one being used, and they're down 2 rounds in this first half of overtime. I think this is the first time since the pistol round in the first half that G2 has had a lead. Or I guess last round would have been it.
17-15 as well. If they take it in overtime, Na'Vi aren't going to be too happy, are they? All right.
Translate that?
I could, but I'm not. Not gonna. Henny is having a great game. I mean, the CT side opening for him has been out of control, honestly.
It's crazy though. Like it feels like it's been like a quiet game for Kenny. Like I can't recall a whole lot of highlights out of him. Like he's just had solid kills, solid decisions, but you don't have those.
Yeah, it's true.
Have you seen any like frag movie type plays out of him in this game?
Not a lot, but I think that's almost the nature of CT side opening, isn't it? A lot of the time you will just be covering a corner and people step into that angle and die. And maybe it's been made. Yeah, it's just that the first half for him was kind of quiet.
It's just one of those games where you hit tab and you're like, holy hell, Kenny's at 27 kills.
Yeah. Leading the server. Nearing the minute mark as Electronic is holding outside of B. Bomb is on simple. Looks like they want to go A eventually. Which could be fine, but Shox is there to have a little bit of an early warning system at the very least. Oh, and the smoke is fading. Shox, they both saw, but Shox is going to be a bit quicker this time. Can someone set him up for a flashbang? If he stays here, he's going to be dead. There's the flashbang. Perfect timing. Great teamwork out of G2.
And again, another double kill at Shox gets being aggressive, much like towards that B bomb site, and then he just falls back. No chance for a rebuttal. Jax spots out that position, and so does Lucky. Jax now recovers just in time. Na'Vi have been shut down in these 3 rounds of OT. And they've got to win 3 in a row in this second half of overtime if they want to go to double. That is a resounding half for G2.
It really is. What a great way to come back into a game. Not just come back, but force it into overtime, and then you take the first 3 rounds of the overtime, and you just need one more. If you're unfamiliar with the format, 19, the number that we're looking for.
The magic number, some would say.
Exactly right. There are different formats. Some of them are,
16K.
Yeah, 5 rounds instead of 3.
Tinkered with 5 rounds.
I never know. I don't have like an incredibly strong opinion about it. I do kind of like 16K, but maybe that's just me.
Yeah, that's a conversation for a different time.
Yeah.
Because you and I have 2 different opinions, and I think we've probably all discussed them at length, whether it's a talk show or in the past.
I also just don't feel that strongly about it anymore.
Oh, I still do. But it's a discussion, as I said, for another time. Overtime, starting up with that side switch, it's going to be Na'Vi on defense. They must win all 3 rounds in this CT overtime to continue the fight. G2 came back. Can Na'Vi?
Well, they've done a bit of chip damage, I guess, to G2, which again, just looking at it, I mean, we've made this point before, a couple of months ago or something, but even the 81 and the 87 there on shocks makes a difference when you're fighting with M4s.
Boomich almost just gets a kill through the smoke. That would have been beautiful. Almanac down so very low. He is just prime for a double kill, especially coming through a choke point like Monster. Because of that, he just backs away. He goes all the way back. He's going to throw the utility.
Yeah, volunteering to do that. You say utility, but he's got 1 Molotov, so he's just going to throw that.
So he's going to be watching the flank.
There we go. Molotov is in. Boomich waiting. Oh, dear God. That is not good. Like rats in a tunnel, Moses. Just call the exterminator. Flamey going to be taking down Amanek. That was a problem.
Couldn't have gone better. No damage dealt to Na'Vi in that round. Not a single point transferred over from G2. So 16-18. Na'Vi fighting for double OT. Double up setup as well. Simple and Flamey with those.
Zeus. Oh, no. He was trying to say something serious to Simple.
I think maybe they went forward. I don't know, because like that first smoke fades, and you're almost like, why didn't G2 just wait an extra 3 seconds? But there was another smoke that had came in behind it. So I think Na'Vi had just refreshed it, like right when they decided to move forward. They might have even been timing that smoke to fade as they come through it. Nice pick from Simple. He went for that a couple times in the first half, and I don't think he had success.
No, he didn't. But that one was that was something. Sharks, a bit of damage from the fire there. G2, one good opening to a round, 1 brilliant call. If you have any tricks up your sleeve that you could pull out, 1 round. That's all it takes. But yeah, Flamey and Simple on the double up. Krieg on electronic. He's had a slightly more quiet game, but I mean, there are only so many kills to go around as well, so...
Well, you want to put that in context. Lucky ended the first half with 2 kills, and he's got more frags overall than Electronic.
Good point, yeah. So maybe it is a slightly more silent game out of him. 50 seconds on the clock, though. Smokes are there. 1 Molotov unlucky. Yeah.
And it feels like, I don't think G2 actually wants to attack this A bomb, so you see Jackson Lucky come up the stairs to start pressuring. I think they want to look for any aggression. Yeah, that's the thing. The flank that Electronic has over towards Party right now, he'll have a free kill onto Lucky.
Oh, and he sees the grenade coming out, so they should know really soon that nothing else is happening here. Still looking, there's Boomich going down. That shocks with the kill could make a big difference here. 20 seconds. What are they going to do? Trying to get through the monster tunnel with the bomb here. Electronic taking down Jackson. I think this is going to crumble really soon. Na'Vi looking close now to getting the double OT. Bomb never going down in this round. Kenny in a 1 versus 3.
He actually needs to save this. It wouldn't be a bad idea for Na'Vi to just throw everything they have. They have the money for this. Try and get this gun away. Zeus, I think he's just too slow in coming through Monster. There's going to be a chance. And oh, the pre-fire, and he's got it. That's massive. Kenny doesn't have any money. He only had 450. If he was to go down even before the timer, even if he got the money, he would have been able to afford an op. But now it's even worse. He survives the timer and goes down, so no op and no money.
Huge, absolutely huge. That's as good as you can set it up for the double OT at this point. But it doesn't change the fact that a single opening headshot during a rush, anything like that could make the difference, and maybe that's exactly what we're going to see. Early grenades, early Molotov towards the L bend. They're going to take the sewers pretty quickly. And are they going to keep going? Yes, they will. Jax leading the charge, running onto the site itself. Shox goes down. Kenny with the pistol taking down one. And now Jax with a big follow-up. A double kill inside of the bomb site. And now Electronic and Simple, 2 versus 4. They are in so much trouble. G2, how have they pulled this out of nowhere?
You're going to love this, Anders. They've won with memes. Just a B-rush right at the end. Oh, and even the Molotov. Oh, he takes a little tick of damage. He does extinguish it, but Simple with the AUG. Him and Electronic for this retake for double overtime or a loss.
Winning with memes is the most delicious thing I could even imagine. Simple going to be going down. Jax with a quad kill towards the end, and they shut them down in overtime. G2, that was a heroic performance to even get here at all. That, I mean, a tough loss for Na'Vi considering everything they put into it. Sushi looking almost despondent.
They all just look stunned.
Oh.
All right. So what's your feeling on the chest bumps up instead of high fives?
That's been my new favorite thing.
Yeah.
It just took one look at that, and I'm like, that's it.
Yeah, esports players chest bumping each other. There's nothing more spectacular than that.
I mean, we need to start making that a thing.
Listen, we got to give a couple shout-outs as well, because first of all, to G2 as a team, what a resilient comeback that is. Beautiful. That is an incredible performance. I also want to give a shout-out to Kenny S. That last round with just a P250, no armor whatsoever. He finds a way to get a kill. And the other one would be our boy Lucky.
Yeah.
A god-awful first half.
Really,
but
truly.
As we mentioned a couple times, finding a way to bounce back, have impact, whatever it might be, he ends up having a pretty solid second half and obviously overtime, and G2 take it.
Yeah, that was fantastic. I mean, what a test of a player, of him as an individual, just being able to do that. So that's a beautiful, beautiful job from him personally, and what game.
Yeah, I didn't even really see that coming, to be honest with you. It looked like Na'Vi was just going to be able to cruise to a victory. So very, very grindy, but a nice win for G2. And we got them down with Smix to talk us through that incredible win.
Indeed, I'm standing here with Shox after that incredible comeback. Let's go over that CT side, because that is where we saw G2 be able to fight their way back. How were you able to do so?
Multiple of things, but I just think that we had a couple of good wins, and we stayed together as a unite, and that was most important.
I feel like over this major, G2 has shown multiple times a lot of mental resilience. After that challenger stage, you had mentioned that there were a few mistakes that you needed to work on. What were those mistakes, and how comfortable does the team feel now?
There were several, but then I will be there for like 20 minutes, yeah. But definitely, we can't see right now. I mean, there have been several things that were good in this game, but also several things like who we will have to fix for the next games, especially on the T side, I will say, as there was something missing. We were not really together, and I think how the approach we had on the side was not. I mean, overall, we didn't have the good reads, we didn't have the good calls, and it was pretty hard to play against them. So if we have to play Overpass, I mean, it will definitely be just stay strong as City as we are right now, and just try to fix what cost us almost the game today on T side.
Now with this victory, you're going to be playing Astralis next, which is very, very interesting. In fact, you as a team, you have not played Astralis in a very, very long time. So what are your thoughts on going up against the Danes?
Nothing more than any other teams, I will say. The most important is just to follow our way. We are growing since I would say Montpellier, where we had a really good showing, and we are just trying to capitalize on that and just improve a bit each day. So tomorrow, I mean, today was a really strong opponent, Navy, so I'm really proud that we had the win. Tomorrow will be Astralis, so we'll see what can we do against a team like this and just continue to grow. That's kind of the feeling.
I think that that's going to be an exciting match nonetheless. Congratulations once again with this amazing showing from G2. We have one last game coming your way, guys. It's going to be MIBR taking on NIP.